proud to participate one more year. This is our 8th year of the Student in the Nut program. This program really started out very small in the city of Rialto, but we have now had a 90% decrease in our child drowning rate in the city, which is really something to be proud of, especially coming from a city that had one of the highest drowning rates per capita in the area.
Once it's from you, it don't matter.
See how it writes, it's a gel. So make sure you like it. Got one from you.
You're a good man. I knew it from the beginning.
Thank you. Feel the same way about you, brother.
Thank you.
Good evening. It is Wednesday, June 1st, and we are calling this meeting of the Board of Education together to order at 7:19. Do I have a motion to adjourn closed session?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and tonight we have a full school board meeting, but first let's have Girl Scout Troop number 276, leaders Jessica Bailey and Carrie Ann Wilson lead us in the pledge.
It grows so quickly.
Thank you, Madam President. Please stand. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready to begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be.
Okay, do we have a report out of closed session?
Yes, we do. We have several. First one, the Board of Education accepted the request for a leave of absence for certificated employee number 1298926 from July 1st, 2016 through June 30th, 2017. Second, the Board of Education accepted the request for a leave of absence for certificated employee number 1998226 from July 1st, 2016 through June 30th, 2017. And in both cases, the vote was unanimous. Number three, the Board of Education accepted the administrative appointment of Bernadette Brown as Coordinator Health Services. The roll call vote was unanimous. And lastly, the Board of Education accepted the administrative appointment of Albert Gutierrez as elementary principal. The roll call vote was unanimous.
Thank you. Okay, do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we now move on with presentations. And first, we are going to recognize Leah Michelle Cash for the Brightest Star recognition. Is Leah here? Okay, good. I will do this one. Hello, how you doing? Good to see you. Okay, tonight I am honored to recognize Ms. Leah Michelle Cash, who earned the San Bernardino County Medal of Honor Award for her 5-year volunteering service at the Rialto Unified School District through the Reach for the Stars program. Ms. Cash is a native of Fort Benning, Georgia. Both of her parents served in the United States Army. She grew up in Brighton, Massachusetts, and attended Cardinal Cushing Academy in South Boston. She is a graduate of Cal State San Bernardino and worked in public relations, child welfare, community service, and nonprofit management. She also writes an entertainment column called Celebrity Showcase and is the author of the children's book, The Strawberry Pot, which teaches anti-bullying and celebrates the beauty in all human beings. Ms. Cash is the founder of the Brightest Star Incorporated, which is an award-winning nonprofit program dedicated to building dreams and self-esteem in foster and at-risk youth, traumatized from some form of an abuse, neglect, abandonment, and/or poverty disadvantages. It is our mission to change young lives, Ms. Cash said. We help young hearts and minds to gain the necessary skills, knowledge, and self-worth essential to dream, believe, and achieve educational and behavioral goals to empower their lives. The Brightest Star Incorporated and its volunteers have been serving students in the Rialto Unified School District for 5 years through its Reach for the Stars calendar art program. This program is designed for students to create their own interpretation of the theme given for the calendar. In this creative process, it provides an excellent opportunity for pro-social interaction that is practiced in an authentic way, and it inspires and motivates children to actively involve critical thinking and independent thought, discovering and celebrating their artistry and imagination. The entire school participates in this program from kindergarten to 5th grade. On Award Assembly Day, 12 calendar winners and 25 honorable mention winners are announced. The first place winners are always receive a new bike. Oh, that's really cool. Can I enter? Every student in the school is given a ticket, and they have the chance to win the same beautiful gifts that are given to the calendar winners and honorable mentions. At each award assembly, the entire student body receives over 200 gifts for their participation. Collectively, we have served over 2,500 RUSD children, replied Ms. Cash. One year, the DreamWorks film director, Peter Ramsey, of the blockbuster children's film Rise of the Guardian, met with students and left pencils, notepads, and school materials from Rise of the Guardians. Yes, the students flipped. Well, Ms. Cash, on behalf of the Board of Education, we thank you for your efforts in making our students feel like stars through channeling their creativity and through the Brightest Stars donations. We are proud of your county award and hope you accept our recognition as a token of our thanks. And we have this certificate of recognition recognizing Leah Cash, the founder of the Brightest Star, for excellence in volunteering services for the Reach for the Stars program. Would you like to say a few words? Okay.
First, I want to start off by saying I love Rialto Unified School District. I really do. And I would like to thank the board for this prestigious acknowledgement. I have here 2 volunteers, and I also have my board, a couple from my board. There are a couple that are missing, but I have Eloise Reyes, I have Sheila Mbaji Fudge, I have volunteer Sherry Madison, and I have my shining star over here who grew up in the foster care system all of her life. And she's a professional model at this time, and she's been with me for the last 4 years now, with the Brightest Star. So therefore, with that said, it is quite an honor. I love Rialto Unified School District, and I would like my chair to say something about the Brightest Star.
Good evening. My name is Sheila Mbaji Fudge, and I am the chair of the Brightest Star. And I just wanted to say it is an honor to be able to serve in such a wonderful nonprofit, the Brightest Star, because not only does it benefit the foster youth, but all youth, as what Leah said, in art programs throughout the community. And with Toastmasters. We are Toastmasters also. So we have leadership, communication courses, contests, and things like that. And it wouldn't be possible a lot of times without volunteers and with our nonprofits. So to the Brightest Star and Leah Cash, I commend her very much for what she have done and for bringing us along with her. Thank you. Yes.
Don't go yet. We need our Facebook picture.
We have some. Oh, out in front.
Yeah. If you don't mind, may I please have our board president next to you, Leah? Thank you. She'll have to make a switch real quick. Thank you. I want to do this systematically. Okay, perfect. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
So glad this happened.
Well done, Nancy. Yes, very nice.
Okay. Now we're moving on with the second presentation, the proposed boundary change for fiscal year 2017-2018, presented by Iris Chu, Director of Facilities Planning.
Good evening. I would first like to introduce Mr. George Palmer.
Oh,
He-
wait a minute. Where's Leah? I'm sorry for 1 minute. This one was hidden under all my stuff up there. But this is a certificate of excellence from the county, signed by County Superintendent Ted Alejandre, and is recognizing her for everything she has done for our students. There you go. I'm so sorry.
Thank you very much.
Okay, all right. Where did that come from?
Sometimes they just appear.
Yeah.
I know it.
Okay, boundary changes.
Good evening. Good evening again. George Palmer will be co-presenting this PowerPoint about boundary adjustment. So, Madam Board President, all the board members, Dr. Avila, cabinet members, and the audience, I appreciate your giving us some time to let us talk about the boundary adjustment. It is per Board Policy BP 5116 that every so often periodically the district may need to study the boundary situation and perhaps make recommendation to the board if necessary. The last time the district undertake such a study and adjustment was in the 2007-2008. That was when the newest 2 elementary schools were built, Warner Elementary School and Kodiak Elementary School. In recent years, the gradual changes in education programs, enrollment, and a student population appear to be of some concern to the facility planning. Boundary study is to examine the utilization of existing school facilities. Now, we're facing these topics. The state class size reduction require that by 2021, the K-3 class loading shall be 20:1. And this will lead to the need for more classrooms in a few elementary schools. We have a few schools that we call overflow schools. These schools have underutilized spaces, so students in other attendance areas may gravitate toward these schools. This means more intra-district transfers and more school busing. We have a few schools that we call overcrowded schools. These schools have reached their maximum utilization. Therefore, it is unlikely to find rooms in these schools for more programs or growth. In the past, elementary school was designed for about 600 students. When the school grows beyond its designed capacity, its limited office space, library, supporting spaces, and number of plumbing fixtures may no longer be adequate. Currently, the district has total 46 leased portable classrooms in high school, middle school, and elementary school combined. Annual lease payment is about $200,000. We'd like to see if it is possible to reduce the lease payment in order to save the resources for more meaningful facilities improvement. And we'd like to see if there are ways to improve current feeder patterns from elementary school to middle school, from middle to high school.
Thank you, Iris. Good evening, Board.
Good evening.
Facilities Planning has prepared the following graphic to illustrate how the current schools are populated. The graphic to the right is the outline of the district boundary, where each dot represents a student. For the purposes of the study, we have dissected the district into 3 areas. From the 210 freeway to the north is the north area. From the 210 freeway to Foothill Boulevard is the central area. And from Foothill Boulevard to the south is the southern area. It's important to note the housing type in these different areas. The northern area is mostly populated by single-family residents, which are considered low density. The center and the south area are single-family residents in addition to apartments, condominiums, and mobile home complexes. These are considered medium to high density. The table on the left indicates the result. Overall, district-wide, there is ample capacity for the district residents. The north has ample facilities for the current residents. If you look at the center and the south areas, those are the areas that need to be studied further. They are nearing their capacities. This next screen is dedicated to the elementary studies. The first line on the tables indicates that there is ample space to facilitate the enrollments district-wide at the elementary level. The north and the center have ample space to facilitate the enrollment district-wide. The south area is where the capacities are at their limits. This is the area that needs to be further studied. The middle school attendance area, overall capacity-wide, has ample area to sustain the enrollment. So much further than, also north, central, and the south areas have ample capacity to sustain the enrollment. The high school level as well. District-wide, there's ample capacity to sustain the enrollment. North, central, and south as well have ample capacity to sustain the district-wide enrollment at the high school level. Iris?
As we see the pattern of and the distribution of the school enrollment, we find we have at least 4 schools that shows as red dots that are we considered overcrowded schools. 3 of them are in the south region. These schools has enrollment about 700 or more in recent years. And we have also about 6 schools we consider overflow schools. 3 of them are in the north region. these schools have enrollment about 500 or less in recent years.
This next slide illustrates the feeding patterns, or the migration of students from elementary to middle to high. So what we did was we overlaid the elementary boundaries over the middle school boundaries. Then we overlaid the middle school boundaries over the high school boundaries. As you can see, there's 19 elementary boundaries that feed into 5 middle school boundaries. Similarly, there's 5 middle school boundaries that feed into 3 high school boundaries. Each campus has different capacities. Elementaries have different capacities. The middle schools have different capacities, such as the middle schools have different capacities and the high schools has different capacities. The district is constantly adjusting the boundaries to accommodate the space needed. And it's not always, the result of all this is that it is not always possible to align the boundaries similarly.
So we propose to achieve these objectives going through the boundary study, and it may lead to boundary adjustment options. We need to comply with class size reduction under the LCAF mandate, and we need to alleviate class size reduction impact to current overcrowded schools, to promote neighborhood school concept as opposed to the current open enrollment policy, to realign current school capacity with resident student population within the student attendance area, to minimize student busing, to reduce leased portable classrooms, to achieve balance between large schools and small schools, reasonably relative to its design capacity, and to realign feeder patterns. Here is our tentative schedule. This month, we'll make presentation to the board with the board consent to move ahead with the project. We're going to form the boundary advisory committee, and the committee will convene a couple times to establish planning objectives, procedure, and preliminary studies. Followed by, the committee will hold at least 3 community outreach meetings to review, report, solicit comments from the community. In January, we hope that we can present to the board our findings and recommendations. And with the board approval, then we can move into implementation before the new school year start, the new 2017-2018 school year starts. The boundary advisory committee shall be composed of all important stakeholders representing the district and the community. We include representatives from the board, business division, education divisions, school sites, various associations, IEA, CSEA, CWA, and in general community members who's interested to participate in this study. so far what we have to present to you. I wonder if you have any questions.
One of the things, and I noticed it as one of your objectives, but I think that's very important, is I know that these balancing all this is very difficult because I've been on the boundary committee. However, we do want to keep the idea of neighborhood schools. And the distance for elementary schools, for elementary students to go before they can get busing is 1 mile. And most parents are not going to allow their elementary students to walk alone 1 mile. So that's something else to keep in mind. If parents can take them and whatever, that's fine. But I think that's a real safety concern for our kids. And I wouldn't want anything to happen to any of them on their way to school. So if we can shorten that distance for most of them.
Yes.
So I had a district, and I guess maybe it's just my understanding or lack of understanding. So can you explain to me what does alleviate, okay, where do we go? Alleviate the CSR, which is class size reduction, I know that. Alleviate CSR impact to current overcrowded schools. I don't understand what that means.
Well, the class size reductions ratio is 24 to 1 for K to 3 grades.
Right.
And because it's a reduction from, say, 30 to 1 or 32 to 1 ratio, therefore it means less students in one classroom, more classrooms necessary to house the same number of students.
Right.
And some of our overcrowded schools, they are already overcrowded. They will not have extra classroom to house, the student, lower grade students.
Okay. So then does that mean, because I know that when you're the class size reduction, you have to have less students in a class, so you have to have more classes to make sure that they're
More
not
classroom,
24.
yes.
Right. And so to alleviate that, are you saying because we have to add more classes where the schools do not have classrooms to add? I.e. portables, does that mean how? To
It's
alleviate
part of the study that we can think of. One is to add portable classrooms. Second is to readjust the boundaries so the school may not need to accommodate these many students.
We have, I'm sorry to interrupt, Ms. O'Kelly, if I may. We have some schools in the north that have less than 500 students. That are just over 400. That in past years, previous leaderships took into consideration to close those schools. And then we've got schools in the south that are over 900 students, elementary schools. We don't have, we shouldn't fill the playgrounds with portables to accommodate the population of the schools. We should
Exactly.
just even out the schools with the less numbers. They have the space, they have the room.
Yes.
So I commend you guys for what you're doing.
Well, a couple of points on that. It's an excellent point. How one thing is if we're going to bus students from one end of town to the other, where that gets to be a problem is like all the winter months when it's dark out when they go to school and it's dark out when they come home just about. So that becomes that was a concern before with parents. So
back to my question about the alleviating. So that means this whole the projection is so that we alleviate the stress that it's putting on by the CSR. That's
Stress
what you mean
is
by
a good
that. I'm
word.
like alleviate. See what I don't get it. Okay.
Yeah, stress is a
I
good
got
word.
that. The stress that what that puts on overcrowded campuses by adding these classes or portables or whatever to do that. So I got that. Okay. Then the other question was just the bullet on minimize student busing. I'm looking at it and I'm like, no matter what, that's not going to minimize student busing. All the space is on the north end, basically, and students are going to have to get on a bus to go there. So I'm just trying to, how does it minimize student busing?
well, that's an objective. But
This
To
is
minimize,
yeah.
This could be our objective. Whether we can achieve it or not, it depends on the outcome of our
there we
study.
go. Okay, I got it now.
Current boundaries do have students traveling far to attend the schools
know,
that their boundaries
I
are
know.
currently in already. So I'm guessing, I'm hoping that the new boundaries would help change it, so that we wouldn't have to bus them from further away.
Yeah.
But we have to do something because it's not fair to those school sites and those neighborhoods and those communities to have some schools where they have to use the stage in the cafeteria because there's no
Right.
classroom space, when we have other schools that have plenty of room.
That's what Mrs. Walker said, stress.
Right, and so I understand that. So in the coming meetings for the boundary adjustment committee, you guys are going to be all working on all of these things. That's what these
Right,
bullet
right.
points are, so that hopefully we're not going to maximize busing, put longer distances in times at schools by redistributing where students are going, so that it does put less stress on the school and the families.
Yes.
We're trying to keep or maintain some sense of a neighborhood school.
Yes.
Right. Dr. Avila?
Yes, just a couple of things. If you look at slide number 8, it does show that we have 3 schools in the central and south side that have overflow capacity.
Right.
And if you look at the, let's say Warner in its pink attendance zone, there's some kids that are closer to Curtis, for example,
That's an
that
overflow.
currently attend Warner that may not require busing. They're actually closer to the school. And then the other piece, just to clarify, there is one or more schools right now where there's no physical space to add any more bungalows. Is that correct?
That's absolutely right.
So even if we wanted to, we can't.
It's going to take away their playfield, blacktops. And
Like
it's
Casey
not-
Elementary.
It's not good for the education.
So that would be part of this whole study, is to look at all the different variables.
That could happen
Yeah.
for this.
And I can't remember, what is the cost per portable per year? The rent cost, whatever we pay?
The rental, we have average about 4,000.
$4,000 a year per
A little
portable.
about 4,000 average. Yeah.
Okay.
Mrs. Kelly, the not only the cost of the rental, placement cost.
Right, I know, that's
So
that's
this
the big
huge,
expense.
so we can avoid leasing more portable.
Right.
That's the whole purpose of the boundary change, to balance our student where they're
Right.
going. Being an open enrollment policy, it doesn't. My child could be, Dr. Avila says, next door, but I'm taking to her somewhere else. So that's kind of why we're trying to fix all this.
I think we need to look heavily at the transporting students to the schools in the north that have a lot of room. I mean, that
You're
only
correct.
makes sense.
You're
And
correct.
hopefully it won't be a long bus ride. Hopefully
That
we
is
can work
our
it out.
goal. We want to
Yes.
cut the distance and make it more,
Right.
you know, homeschool.
I think that if we could put it into context to give you one vision, I know you already know this, but I'm doing it for the public's knowledge. Keep our students as the central focus of this.
Right.
In all things student-centric in this boundary realignment plan that you recommend to us. I think you've heard that the board is very concerned about walking distance for our little ones especially. 1 and 1.5 miles is a lot for a little one. My kid's old and gone, but I think we all feel like we've got 26,000 grandkids. So
Or
please.
Thank you.
Or kids.
Yeah, you're right, or kids. Yeah, thank
This
you.
is definitely part of the factors we need to study. And I also like to share with you this physical condition of our district is not even. We have a lot of industrial zone
Right.
interspersed among the residential zone in the south part of the district. So you see a school dot in the middle of a large area, but this half of this large area may be industrial zone.
Right.
So it's a delicate balance that we will study and try to achieve.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, thank you, George and
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're moving on with comments, public comments from the floor. At this time, any person wishing to speak on any item not on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes. Do we have any, Dr. Avila?
Yes, we do. We have a few. First up, we have Cindy Stone.
Good evening, Board, Dr. Avila, and community, or viewing community. I'm here tonight with a quick public service announcement for our community at large. Every summer, the Nutrition Services Department, in conjunction with USDA, sponsors a seamless summer food service program. This program provides free meals to all residents 18 years and younger. This year will be the 3rd year that we are partnering with the city of Rialto. Parks and Recreation has provided us with 2 additional locations for which we are going to service our program. The locations this year will be at Carter High School, Jehu Middle School, Frisbee Middle School, Kolb Middle School, Rialto Middle School. And the 2 city locations will be Rialto Park, which is located on 130 East San Bernardino Avenue, and also the Carl Johnson Community Center, located at 214 North Palm Avenue. Meals will be distributed between 11:15 a.m. and 12 p.m. daily. There'll be no service on July 4th. And the information is available on our website in English and Spanish. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Cindy.
Next, we have Ms. Paula Bailey.
I know I have a couple of them. I'll start with the one that is just for myself. We recently had elementary graduations, which were absolutely fabulous. Kids did a wonderful production. I have to send my thanks to Miss Christine Foote, who when I got there, she was making sure that area was set up perfectly. She was going behind the administrators, helping set up everything so that it would flow a lot better. She was making sure all the audio, everything was done. I'm like, wait a minute, it's the last couple days of school. She's like, no, this has got to be done right for these kiddos. I have to send my thanks to 3 of our district admin who 2 were my daughter's previous principals who she went to, and personally invited them to please be there, and they were there, and that meant the world to her. So thank you, Miss Curtis and Miss Miner and Miss Jen. It really meant a lot to her to see them there, and there was other students there where parents were excited to see them as well. So it was awesome. I'm sorry you guys missed it. I know you were able to make it to the middle school, and the high school was this weekend. One other quick thing. This past Monday, it was a very bittersweet ceremony. Rialto had their memorial ceremony at the cemetery. And I hope I can do this without crying. But they also, in addition to Rialto High School doing a wonderful job, and Eisenhower, oh my goodness, if you would have seen their drill team go, it was just fabulous. They all did an absolutely wonderful job. Part that's difficult is they paid tribute to Sandy Jones, who passed last year in June. And it was a really nice memorial to him. And it was something, he was there every year and made sure everything was done. Oh, I'm down to a minute. So until I return, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any more?
Yes, next we have Jessica Bailey. So we have different topics.
Yes.
So we have
the one for Jessica Bailey and Carrie Ann.
Okay. On Girl Scouts.
Yes.
Yes.
Our troop 276, for the last 3 years has met at Dunn Elementary. And we've been very privileged to have the support of the principal at that site. And due to our last meeting, being about a week ago, the girls went through and made cards for the principal to say thank you. Originally, Mr. Navarrete was planning on being here, but something came up and he was unable to be. So they have a few cards they want to read real quick. And then they have a plaque they'd like to present with those cards to Ms. Miner, who is his direct supervisor. So I'm going to leave it off to them.
Hi, I'm Carrie, and I'm going to be doing the first thank you card. This one's from Abigail. Thank you for everything, Miss Navarrete. I'm so sad that you can't stay. You were an awesome principal. This comes from the heart, and she made a paper mache heart.
No.
This one is from Alex. She said, "Thank you, Mr. Navarrete." This one I made. I think he's awesome for letting us stay there for the past 3 years. This one is also from Carrie Ann. It says, "You're amazing." This one's from Jessica. She said, "Thank you, Navarrete, so much." This one is also from Carrie. She said, "Mr. Navarrete, thank you." I made this one. It says, "You make me smile," and it has a smiley face on it. This is the last one. And Mr. Navarrete, the M stands for matters, R stands for really, ready for anything, N stands for nice, A stands for awesome, V stands for very cool, A stands for amazing, R stands for radical, the other R stands for remarkable, E stands for excited, T stands for talented, E stands for excellent. From Abigail. We would like to give him a plaque. So can we have Miss Minor stand? Can we have Miss Minor stand up? Just read it. Girl Scouts presents Mr. Navarrete on behalf of San Girl Scouts 2006. In honor of his multiple years of dedication, your commitment has made a positive impact in the lives of our girls. And the Scouting community presented on this day, June 1st, 2016.
Thank you, girls.
And if I can just say on behalf of Mr. Navarrete, I would like to thank the girls for their kindness and their thoughtfulness in this gesture of appreciation for him.
Thank you, Ms. Minor.
And then do we also have Jessica Bailey for graduation?
So my 5th grade graduation, we were at Carter High School, and it was amazing how all the people from Rialto's district helped, some of them helped put this together. I would like to thank everybody who helped. It was amazing. It was just, I don't even know what to say because I was blown away because I'd like to say thank you to Miss Curtis and Miss Minor for showing up. And Miss Jackson didn't know that they were showing up, so they did get recognized. And Miss Jen. So thank you. And that's it. It was amazing.
Okay. Thank you, Jessica. I do have one minor correction, just so you know. When you go from elementary to middle school or middle school to high school, that's called a promotion. You only graduate once, and that's from high school. Okay? Thank you.
Next we have Miss Mirna Ruiz.
Got here just in time. Good evening. Let me take a breathe. My name is Myrna Reese, and I'm the president from PTA for Rialto Council. And I wanted to thank Dr. Avila for coming, on, what was the date? April, oh my God, I am sorry.
18th.
To the honorary service
Yes,
awards.
yes, thank you. Okay, oh my God, let me just start again. And Mr. Montes, as always, thank you very much for showing up. And for those of you who did not make it, and Saida, of course, always supporting us, thank you. Dr. Avila, once again, showing off his moves. He was dancing along with
And I missed it.
Yes, you missed it, the folklorico kids, and he was doing his thing, like always. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much for showing up. We went ahead and honored Mr. Andy Castriales from Coffee Nuts, for always supporting PTA and our students. So you guys missed a really big event. So I just wanted to thank you. And that's all.
Thank you.
That is it for comments not on the agenda.
Okay, we move on to public comments on agenda items. Any person wishing to speak on any item on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes.
Madam President, we do have one more.
Oh.
This one's on the agenda, though.
Okay.
That's what we're on.
It's off the agenda? Okay, so it's marked on the agenda, but it's off the agenda.
So it's a middle agenda.
Buenas noches, miembros de la mesa directiva.
Good night, members of the board.
Presidenta O'Kelly, Superintendente Dr. Ávila.
President Kelly and Superintendent Dr. Avila.
Y la audiencia.
And the audience.
Soy Celia Zelaya y coordino el grupo de padres de apoyo para padres de niños especiales.
I'm Celia and I coordinate the group Celaya, and I coordinate the group of kids, parents for kids with discapacity, with special needs.
El grupo se llama Amigos Unidos.
And the group is called Friends Together, United Friends.
Y esta noche quiero agradecer a Miss Erika Johnson, Erlene Hyman y Mr. David Farrell de Educación Especial.
And I want to thank Ms. Erika Johnson, Erlene Heyman, and Mr. David Frados from Special Education
por haber asistido a la ceremonia de graduación de la escuela NPS Leroy Haynes.
For coming to the graduation of the school NPS Leroy Haynes.
Quiero hacer la invitación para el próximo año y recordarles a los board members también y a todo el distrito de Rialto que los niños que están en NPS también son parte de nuestra comunidad.
I would like to invite the board members to be next year with us and to remind you that the kids from NPS, they're part of our community also.
También quiero aprovechar para invitarlos a la ceremonia anual de la celebración de los sacramentos de los niños especiales.
And I want to invite you to the annual celebration of the sacraments of the special need children,
que se llevará a cabo el domingo 19 de junio a las 3 de la tarde.
It will take place on June 19 at 3 p.m.
en la Catedral de San Bernardino y será un honor contar con la presencia de ustedes.
In San Bernardino Cathedral, and it's going to be an honor to have you participate with us.
Los esperamos. Gracias.
We hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you.
No more items not on the agenda.
No more comments?
We do have 3 comments for items not on the for items on the agenda, but they will come during the public hearing.
Oh, okay. All right, move on with comments from association executive board members. Do we have a representative here from the Rialto Education Association, REA? I don't see anybody. Okay, do we have a representative from California School Employees Association, CSEA? No, we have none tonight. How about the Communication Workers of America, CWA? None. And the Rialto School Managers Association, RSMA. Okay, so school's out and everybody's quiet. Okay, comments from the superintendent.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Just quickly, a reminder of our high school graduations that are scheduled for this Saturday, June 4th, at Citizens Bank Arena in Ontario, starting at 10 a.m. and going through the rest of the day. I look forward to seeing all of you there to celebrate our students that are moving on to bigger and better things.
Right.
Also, a reminder, if you have not yet joined one of the strategic action team committees and you are interested in doing so, please contact Ms. Beth Curtis in the Office of Elementary Education to join the action teams. And just general congratulations to all of the recent recipients of awards and recognitions, be it students and staff members. This is what we work for, and this is although the busiest, but it's also the most rewarding and fun time of the school year to see excellence at its best, and especially being recognized as such. Also, a big thank you, big hug to Mrs. Valdepeña, teacher, and her team at Bemis Elementary School, special education preschool classroom, for inviting me to the preschool promotion ceremony. It was held on May 26th at the PDC, and it was really tear-jerking, very adorable to see students in their caps and gowns at such a young age experience the power of education and the holistic human spirit. And again, Ms. Valdepeña and your team, we know that it's at times challenging to work with students, to work with the little ones, but especially those that have additional needs. I know it's not a challenge, it's a reward. I saw it in your face and your demeanor, as well as your staff, and it really brought me to tears to see how caring adults can be with some of our neediest of kids. So thank you for you and your team do day in and day out. And lastly, we have our alumnus highlight coming from Rialto High School. And since summer baseball is in full swing, some of our audience members may want to know that we are very proud to have our 2001 Rialto High School graduate, Carlos Enrique Ricky Nolasco, the former standout of the Dodgers as a pitcher, who began with the Marlins and then moved on to the Chicago Cubs and is now with the Minnesota Twins, and really enjoying his $49 million contract.
Wow.
And a big thank you to high school coach Mr. Scott Russell for preparing Mr. Nolasco and showing the talent that this community is able to produce. And lastly, I think I said that already, but going back to my little book with 50 big ideas. This section is entitled A Unifying Cheer. Fufa is what the cheer is called. Like the Three Musketeers, team players practice a fufa. All for one, one for all. Does your team exhibit a fufa behaviors? Thank you.
Thank you. All right, comments from members of the Board of Education. Okay, shall we start with Mr. Ayala?
Absolutely. Thank you, President O'Kelly. Just some comments of what we learned earlier concerning the budget. What I learned just from listening is that we're losing roughly $9 billion of revenue because of Proposition 1330 being sunsetted. And that's a lot of money. And the governor hasn't reissued a plan to recoup that money yet. It's going to probably have to go to the voters. In the meantime, we, in the school districts, we have to find ways to be prudent and cautious. Just to give you an idea, we are at 3% in reserves, from what I learned, and the state average is at 16% in reserves. So if we make some mistakes, I have a feeling newspapers are not going to have a lot of empathy for us. So we have to be careful right now. I know when we go to the restaurants, you see restaurants, stores, parking lots are full. But keep in mind that, you know, there's a difference between recession and depression. Recession, I've heard before, at least I've heard it, is when your neighbor is out of work. And the difference with depression is when you're out of work. Our goal here is to take care of our staff. We have some experience on this board. Our employees took some hits in the past. We had to use this tactics of pink slips. People get laid off during hard times. They don't find jobs elsewhere. So we're in good hands right now, but we need to understand the consequences if we don't think it through. We have come down a little bit from the 50th to the 46 in terms of what the ADA is for our kids. But I will share with what I learned. A few years ago, we were making like $9,000 a year per child. We're down to $6,000 with declining enrollments. So if you add it all up, we're going a little bit backwards, but the good news, we're in good hands, but we have to work together, stay prudent, and I would say work on those reserves a little bit and we'll be fine. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share a few comments.
Mr. Montes.
Thank you, Board President, Mrs. O'Kelly. I just want to thank everybody for being here tonight. We know that school's out as of last week, and this is almost one of the last school board meetings for the fiscal year. I just wanted to congratulate Mrs. Michelle Cash, Leah
Michelle Cash, yes.
For her service for this community and for her program. I do want to thank Mr. Streeter from Eisenhower High School. He's a woodshop teacher over there. If you guys recall, we recognized them not too long ago for saving 18-month-old baby from drowning during his vacation. He recently, I believe it was last week, he had a small banquet for some of his woodshop kids, students that completed certain requisites from his program. He's also just recently received certification, and I don't have the exact certification that he's now qualified to do, but he's one of very few woodshop teachers who are able to give passports or licenses for kids who complete a certain woodshop program. I thought that was really nice. He had a little banquet over at Sizzler here down the street, and they had their parents there, and I was invited. Mr. Sparks was there. We had Dr. D'Souza was there. Ms. Harper was there. It was a nice little banquet recognizing those kids' achievement. I think even Home Depot gave them some free tape measures, and it was a special little thing for them. So I want to thank Mr. Streeter for the invitation, and thank him for all the good work that he's doing.
I would just like to interject. Mr. Streeter is a woodshop teacher extraordinaire. Our podium was built by Mr. Streeter's students, and they are all over this district, as well as several objects of art and whatever. He does a fantastic job.
And then the district donated one of those nice podiums to the Rialto Women's Club,
Yeah.
and they made that one as well.
Mhm.
And I believe he also made us a traveling podium when we used to have the school board meetings everywhere but the district office. He's just an awesome guy.
Yes, he is.
He's an awesome guy. I mean, we have a few heroes here in the district who've saved lives, and you know, and not only has he saved a baby, but I'm sure he's saving a lot of kids who, you know, who have that passion to have to go into that craft. And I believe Mr. Ayala used to be a woodshop teacher himself.
I can relate.
Some time ago.
I can relate.
So I want to thank him again, and Mr. Sparks and everybody that's doing a great job over there at Eisenhower. I also want to thank Mrs. Davies. I don't want to butcher her last name, so I'm not going to try. How do you pronounce it? Ayaloja. Davies Ayaloja. Okay. Thank you for correcting me. I'd rather repeat it than butcher it. Mrs. Ayaloja is a teacher at Frisbee Middle School, and her 8th grade class does the yearbook movie. And they're the yearbook class. They do a movie at the end of every school year, and they invited me down. They wanted me to see their movie. That was very good, considering that they're using 6-7-year-old computers. And we've already discussed, we've talked to some people, and help is coming, and the district is going to send in some newer technology soon. But they made an awesome yearbook end of the year movie. The entire 8th grade class, me and Mrs. Walker were there, and I was gonna save this one for you, but I'm gonna go ahead and take it. Me and Ms. Walker were both there. We were there with the entire 8th grade class. They had a pep rally. They showed the movie. It was funny. It was. They had us dancing. They had music. Kids were singing. Some of the teachers were singing, but I'm not gonna say any names. But the video was very moving, and Mrs. Ayaloja and those kids are very talented. I believe they said it was their 15th year, I want to say, that they've been doing it. And it was awesome. I attended all of the middle school promotion ceremonies last week. Unfortunately, Frisbee was the only one I couldn't make it to. I think I was a little late to one of them, but Frisbee I couldn't go. But I was there with those 8th graders for their special moment during that 8th grade movie, yearbook movie, and it was awesome. And I'm sure Ms. Walker will share some stuff about that experience. So I want to thank her and her yearbook class for the invitation and for the awesome work that they did putting that together. Maybe we can, if it's not too impossible, maybe we can have it uploaded into our district website if they want. But that was very good. And again, I just want to congratulate all of the students and all of the parents and all of the staff members who were able to participate in this year's 8th grade middle school promotions. I do want to thank Ms. Foote and the leadership team over at Corridor for letting everybody borrow their house there at Wilhelmina Carter High School and holding those promotion ceremonies at that gymnasium, beautiful gym, and Mr. Ayala, Mr. Martinez, Ms. O'Callaghan, a lot of our superintendent and everybody that was able to make it. I want to just piggyback on what Dr. Avila said. The promotions and the graduations are one of the most rewarding times of the year, and it felt good high-fiving those kids and congratulating them. So thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Montes. Mr. Martinez.
Thank you, President O'Kelly. I want to continue to stress that we want the best for our students, and we will continue to seek the best. Congratulations to the class of 2016. I will piggyback on Mr. Montes. Seeing our young scholars celebrate with family and friends is one of the most rewarding events and times in this board member's life. I look forward to graduation on Saturday. It's going to be one of those long days, but it's well worth it. I spend a lot of time, well, probably too much time, on TweetDeck, which is Twitter. And in leadership, I ran across something that I wanted to share. While managers maintain the status quo, the traits of a leader are 71.85%, the leader empowers others. 52.49%, the leader builds trust. 52.49% again, is the leader is a strategic thinker. Embraces change, 35.48%. Has an energy, enthusiasm, 27.5%. It has decisiveness or displays decisiveness, 27%. Is empathetic, 12%. Has market knowledge or knowledge within the educational forum, almost 10%. Is an independent thinker, 7%. Is ambitious, is 4%, and pressure-oriented, less than 2%. So the top three: empowers others, builds trust, is a strategic thinker, and I wanted to thank our superintendent for displaying these traits.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Walker.
Thank you, first of all, to Frisbee again and the Frisbee family. I did attend the year-end yearbook celebration, and it was great. And just the energy from the everybody that was in the film and in the room that day and everything took me back to the 50th anniversary of Frisbee as well, and all the energy and the pride that people felt about being a part of the Frisbee family. And so again, I'm proud to be a board member for Rialto, because those are the kind of things that make this place just a great place. And I look forward to Saturday with the graduations for those of us who will be there, and for those of us who are going to wish our graduates for class of 2016. Hope to see you on Saturday all day. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. I know school's out, and sometimes people forget about board meetings, but some of us can't, so we like to have company. I hope everyone had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day, of course, is a day to honor our soldiers who've made the ultimate sacrifice in their service to our country. And I was really pleased this year, I think more than past years, on the news and whatever, I saw more beautiful tributes around the country to our fallen soldiers. And it's not, nobody says Happy Memorial Day, because it's really not a happy day, but it's a day to definitely think deep about those that have served us. I have had the pleasure of attending many end-of-the-year events the past 2 weeks. I attended the Eisenhower Scholarship Awards night, which was very well done. Went to all 3 scholarship award nights at the comprehensive high schools, and they were all excellent. And I have to say, I loved how you see the distinct personality of each school and how they put their own personal touch on the ceremony. It makes it a lot of fun to attend that and see our kids get scholarships and awards that they have worked for so hard over their school careers. I also attended the Eisenhower Choirs, they called the Ike Choirs Spring Concert. I tell you, if you have not seen the Ike Choirs concerts, they have one at Christmas time and one in the spring, you have got to go. They are held at Carter High School, because that's the only facility that we have that can hold all the people that show up. It literally is standing room only. And they do a wonderful job. It's like watching a Broadway show. It's just a lot of fun. I also attended a Measure Y meeting. I know I had some people contacting me wanting to know why we weren't further along with the upgrades that we are planning at Eisenhower, the new stadium and whatever. And apparently there's some big thing with DSA, the Department of State Architects, where when they get your plan or whatever, they put it in a cubby hole for like 6 months. Seriously, before they even address it. So the whole timeline has been slowed down. But we are going to be completing these projects. They're just going a little slower than we had hoped. Oh, I went to all 5 middle school promotions, and those are always a lot of fun. Those 8th graders are so excited, to be moving on to high school. Some of them look a little scared, but most of them look a little excited, and they're going to be fine. They're going to love high school once they get there. And I am definitely looking forward to the high school graduations this Saturday. That's my heart. That's really special to me. So, with that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful couple of weeks until we meet again, and we need to move on with the agenda. Okay, do I have a motion to open public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any person wishing to speak on the item on the public hearing agenda will be granted 3 minutes.
Time is 8:28.
I'm sorry, what?
Time is 8:28.
8:28. I'm sorry, I forgot the time. Number 1 is the LCAP adoption. Public Hearing Education Code EC Section 52062B1 requires that a governing board of a school district shall hold at least one public hearing to solicit the recommendations and comments of members of the public regarding the specific actions and expenditures proposed to be included in the local control and accountability plan or annual update of the local control and accountability plan. The agenda for public hearings shall be posted at least 72 hours before the public hearing and shall include the location where the local control and accountability plan or annual update to the local control and accountability plan will be available for public inspection. Reference D 1.1. Do we have any comments
We do
on
not.
number 1?
No, ma'am.
No. Do I have a motion to close public hearing?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Time.
Okay. That public hearing closed at 8:29. Okay, do I have a motion to open public hearing?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, number 2 is the budget adoption for fiscal year 2016-2017. Public hearing, Education Code EC Section 52062B2 requires that the public hearing at which a school district governing board adopts a local control and accountability plan, or the LCAP, and adopts a budget must be held after, but not on the same day as, the public hearing at which the governing board holds the required public hearings on the LCAP and the proposed budget. This requirement eliminates the governing board's previous prerogative to adopt a budget at the same public meeting at which the public hearing on the proposed budget is held, as was historically allowed by Education Code Sections 42127A1 and 42127A2 for districts. Reference D 2.1. Do we have any comments on this item?
No, ma'am.
Okay, do I have a motion to close public hearing?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do I have a motion to open? 8:31.
Sorry.
Okay, do I have a
do it.
motion to open public hearing again?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, number 3, public hearing transforming.
Well, you
public
should just,
okay.
You're the clerk. You should just read the time.
Right.
Alrighty.
Okay, you will record
Okay,
it.
8:31.
Public hearing transforming lives charter school petition. I kind of need light to read what I have to read. Oh, that's it. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
Got it okay, President O'Kelly?
Yeah.
Very good. My name is Diana McKee, founder and executive director of Transforming Lives Charter School. And I wanted to thank you, Honorable School Board and Superintendent Avila, for allowing us to look at findings and take care of and address them. And this is going to be our post-finding report from what we addressed into our resubmission that we did. Okay, so findings according to Ed Code 47605, we needed more signatures from parents and teachers. The law allows for one or the other. Teachers currently committed to TLCS is 4, which is 67%, according to what the lawyer said with 6 teachers required. Law requires 51%, so it shows that we have met that. Also, in your flash drives, you did receive these teachers' resumes and credentials from the CCT website. And valid signatures for 51 students valid signatures for students increased to 51. We are working on more. We have 3 information meetings on the calendar and planning at least 10 more, so that we will have full enrollment. Almost. There we go. Evidence of successful implementation. The budget has been adapted to reflect income, revenue, cash flow, and outgoing, and facility is currently being negotiated. And that should be completed within the next 2 weeks. In the income, revenue, cash flow, that has been reflects all the monies that have come in. Sound education plan. Student outcomes for foster youth, English language learners, special ed, and unduplicated students have been defined. As far as foster youth, I know from my experience from working with Olive Crest, has special needs, especially for the baggage that they carry and placement changes that they have had. And that the law also for foster youth, records have to be transferred within 2 days. English language learners, something also we're very familiar with. We have added the curriculum that we are using for ELL. We will get that onto another slide. And special education, everything within special education has the law attached to it within each heading. So it verifies that we know what our special education is. Unduplicated students is the rest of the population that do not fall under the upper 3. And that is per LCAP. Students are also assessed on their abilities, not compared to the other students. Now this is important. Students need to be able to know that they can succeed. And sometimes when they're competing against other A-straight students and they're only doing C, that's a lot of pressure. And honestly, I've been watching that at the high school I've been working at. And people are stressing over just getting a 4.0. Anything less than a 4.0 means they're having a nervous breakdown. I don't want to see that for my kids. Okay, I've been seeing it all year at the high school I'm at, and it's pretty unfortunate to watch. Overall data will be compiled to determine school hitting their targets. Now we're setting our goal at 10% each quarter as a growth of academic achievement. You have 4 quarters in a year. We're looking at doing a 40% increase on academic growth. Yes, that is probably a little high, but I think we can do it because we're focusing on project-based learning. All our teachers are coming in with information on how to do project-based learning, and also the curriculum that we will be using will also help our students hit the targets. English language learners, we're actually going to be using Middlebury Interactive Language, and we'll also the Sheltered Interactive Observation Protocol as the designated curriculums. Student reclassification has been updated to include 3-year observation and tracking academic growth in all subject areas, not just English and math. 3 years of English development strategies from the Sheltered Interactive Observation Protocol. So basically, we're going to be tracking them most of their academic life. That way we know that they are being successful and they're meeting their targets. And most importantly, they're meeting their dreams. And they're meeting their seeing and feeling their academic achievements. There we go. The special education plan was reviewed by a special education professional, someone that's been in the field for 15 years. So we outsourced the help in order to shore this up, to make sure that it was what was needed. The special education laws are verified through the law and separate procedures that local districts, including Rialto Unified, subscribe to. Okay, so we're making sure that we're getting all of our bases covered. The curriculum, this is what we're going to be using. Fuel Education is a provider for a majority of our curriculum. Their courses are all A through G approved. Even while we are going through our WASC accreditation, you know, first year is the initial visit, then we get our candidacy, and then we are able then to get full accreditation. Their classes are already A through G approved. They also offer 12 career pathways because our focus is on college and career readiness along with workplace learning. So the 12 career pathways will work really well. Another great thing about Fuel Education, they work with Middlebury Interactive Language. They already have a partnership. So that's a benefit for helping us with our EL and world languages, because Middlebury does EL and world language. So we're getting a full put together curriculum. Also with Fuel Education, if we have any students that are on home hospital, they have an online program already built into their curriculum. With that, if we have anybody on home hospital, they're able to still keep up even if they're not in class. That's a huge benefit. And it also, they do supply the teachers for doing that too, to help keep them up via online Skype or any of those avenues. Our assessments, starting with the Northwest evaluation at the start of the school year. So we can find out what the students' needs are. So we can start them off at place A and seeing if they can grow to D, G, M, whatever they can do. That's why we have the end of the year test, is to determine if how big their growth was. In the middle of it, we have all of our state mandated tests. You have all of your classroom assessments, presentations, projects, essays, unit assessments, informal, formal, all of those that the teachers can use. Quarterly benchmarks, ORS, online assessment, assessing student progress. This is actually a program that Pomona Unified uses and Fontana Unified uses, as I have worked in both districts. Assessing student progress, benchmarks quarter one, quarter three. So again, we're assessing their growth. That is when within our 10% factor where we're checking their growth to make sure that they're hitting the targets. In the meantime, they're being assessed, you know, through the classroom with needs and everything. Final exams, we know, is at the end of every semester. In fact, Diamond Ranch we just finished our finals today. I finished them last week. Our governance structure, our executive team is Danielle Dixon and Diana McKee. Our school board, Diana Martin, Mary Prater, Dr. Charlotte Inagle, John Weber, and our bylaws have been updated to element 4, everything matches and aligned. So we have addressed that also. Governance key roles. Now we went with the inverted pyramid. With this, students are at the top because everybody below them needs to support the students. And everybody below the parents need to support the parents and the students. Just like the administration needs to support the faculty, staff, parents, and students. The school board. And then the executive team carries the whole bottom part, supporting everybody all the way up. And this is an effective pyramid because what it does is it shows us where our focus is. It's very much a student-centered focus. And huge on parent involvement. Our job descriptions, defined and clarified. Teacher, principal, counselor, career development specialist. And our back office is Savant Co-Education. And our law office is Hansberger and Klein School Law. Okay, suspensions and expulsions. We divided it up into discretionary suspensions and expulsions, which depends on the nature of the act unless it is a mandatory expulsion. Okay, those are addressed too. Those are part of the zero tolerance policy. Any sexual harassment, hazing, selling and carrying of weapons, that's on mandatory expulsion. As I said, according to Ed Code 48915 C and D, any of those require mandatory expulsion. Thank you very much. What questions do you have?
Does the board have any questions? I guess not. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And we do have comments on this section.
Okay.
We do have Diane McKee. Okay, and then we have Dr. Floyd Milner.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Floyd Milner. I'm an audiologist. That's a hearing doctor in the Inland Empire for about 35 years. And I am so honored to speak on behalf of Diana. Earlier, I want you to know I was attempted to photobomb that shot there, but I didn't think that would be appropriate. But anyway, when I think about a person who approached this situation with a vision of empowering students in a way that may be lacking in some of the traditional way of being educated, Diana McKee approached opening up a Transforming Lives charter school, which is a business by networking with people or other business professionals to assist her in accomplishing her task, that being the Black Chamber of Commerce of the Inland Empire. She has done her due diligence and has done nothing but grown as she has been associated with this organization for several years. I guess she just wanted to make sure she was with the right people that's going to help guide her the right way. I had the opportunity to be here at the meeting each time, and the last time, based on the information handed out prior to this subject being discussed, I knew that a challenge was going to be faced as far as it was going to be going through at that time. But Diana has a never quit attitude, and based upon seeing that challenge, that's anticipated because that's the way things go many times in business. But our confidence, as well as Diana's confidence, is that her dream of opening up the Transforming Lives charter school that will address issues for children at an impressionable age regarding the importance of aligning themselves with people, business people, by networking that will enable them to do the best that they can do for this society. But we know with cutbacks, as you talked about earlier, in all aspects of occupations, that one must be prepared to realize that they will have to fend for themselves. If a person does not have the right self-image, attitude, or business know-how, they may not have an opportunity to accomplish great things. So with that being said, I know that Diana has the capabilities of addressing these issues and guiding these students and their families in the right direction. The kids, they have options. They will get the idea of pursuing education with greater substance because they realize that in order to be successful in life, which are things that they're going to be taught in Diana's school, that their happiness and their sense of self-worth and their prosperity depends to no small extent on their ability to deal with people. And I know that Diana is going to be using our organization in many instances to help instruct and empower kids, as well as we receive empowerment from those kids. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Are there any other comments?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do I have a motion to close public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
And the time is 8:41.
47.
Oh. Okay.
I'll keep doing it.
All right, consent calendar items. All items on the consent calendar will be acted upon in one motion unless pulled by the Board of Education members or the superintendent for individual action. Do I have a motion to approve consent calendar items reference E through J?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion or any polls? Okay, then all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, we move on with discussion action items. Number 1, approve the Illuminate Data and Assessment System Agreement with Illuminate Education Incorporated that includes the Inspect Item Bank from July 1, 2016 through June 30th, 2017. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, number 2, approve renewal of the agreement with Apex Learning Incorporated from July 1, 2016 to June 30th, 2017. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Number 3, award bid number RIANS 16-17-001, Fresh Produce to Gold Star Foods for fiscal year 2016-2017. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, approve the extension of bid number RIANS 15-16-005 for the purchase of bread products to Galasso's Bakery for fiscal year 2016-2017. A motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All, any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, number 5, approve the extension of bid number RIANS 15-16-001 for the purchase of dairy, juice, and ice cream products to Hollandia Dairy for fiscal year 2016-2017. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Number 6, approve the extension of bid number RIANS 15-16-003 for the purchase of frozen food products to Lebo Foods Distribution Incorporated for fiscal year 2016-2017. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second? Is there a second? Are you all still awake?
No. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
You're abstaining? Okay, one abstention.
We're waiting for samples.
That's good. Well, Miss
That's good.
Stone is right there, so you can talk to her. Okay, approve the extension of bid number RIANS 15-16-004 for the purchase of pizza products to Papa John's Pizza for fiscal year 2016-2017. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Somebody perhaps want Pizza Hut?
No,
That's
I do
her.
have a discussion question though. Just in reference to the last food, and I know it moves to move the school year forward. Why are we doing extensions on the contract versus rebidding, and how does that work? Miss who handles it? Yeah.
Cindy, could you?
Okay, Cindy.
The original contracts always have language in them that allow us, as long as everything's good
Just-
between us and the company, that we can roll for up to 2 years. And just for your FYI, the pizza was student approved and chosen.
Okay.
Okay.
It's her favorite
That's
food.
important.
Right. They know the good pizza in town. Okay. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Number 8, approve the extension of bid number RIANS 15-16-006 for the purchase of tortilla products to Romero's Food Products Incorporated for fiscal year 2016-2017. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, number 9, adopt resolution number 15-16-64 for exemption to the separation from service requirement for retired CalSTRS members and participants. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Is there a discussion? This is the one where they're saying that teachers who retire don't have, if they want to come back and substitute teach, they can
yeah.
do so
Oh, no, that's a good
within
one.
the 6-month
Yeah, I
period.
read that.
Okay.
Just if the public or anyone wants, the names have to be given as well. And there's certain restrictions that apply. It is reference K9.1-2.
Right.
K9.1-2.
1 through 2.
1 through 2.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Number 10, approve the compensation agreement with the San Bernardino Redevelopment Successor Agency, RDA, authorizing the transfer of 542 North Mount Vernon Avenue, APN 0138-115-13 to the City of San Bernardino as required by the laws governing the dissolution of redevelopment agencies. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion on this item?
Yes, I have a discussion. Who's the person?
Probably Mohammed.
Mohammed. What would that be?
This is related to the, as you recall, the Assembly Bill 1X26 dissolution of RDA. Now, this property went to lien, and it's a City of San Bernardino RDA. We are, like, part of the RDA, San Bernardino Rialto. And we were not quite sure in the beginning what is the deal, why we have to engage and bring the item to the board for approval. So we went to our legal counsel, a review of the proposals. This is to RDA, under the dissolution law, they have to dissolve all the property. And it's not that they can hold in the property. This property, again, it says a lien. So the City of San Bernardino has to go through all the successor agency, we're one of them, to get our approval before they can dispose the property under the law. And this is basically, there's no gain or loss, meaning we're not getting anything out of it. It's simply a formality.
As a part of the agency?
Yes,
One
correct.
of the tenants of the agency?
Yes,
Okay.
you're correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 11, approve the Secondary Educational Services Division request to adopt the Houghton Mifflin Harcourt California Collection Series for middle school grades 6 through 8 and the McGraw-Hill Study Sync Series for high school grades 9 to 12. The series will serve as our base program for the next 8 years and will include both print and online resources that are fluid and can be updated and modified as needed, and will include new student novels, 3 per grade level per student. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Discussion. So we're gonna approve both, study sync and collections.
Right.
Okay, and there's been some controversy between which is better.
Right. Mr. D'Souza, I think, can address that.
Okay, I guess my question is, one of them will do a better job at targeting the study needed by the students so that they can be successful in passing exams. And I've heard that Study Sync might be that program, and I would want to hear what you have to say.
So in terms of the middle school, they adopted the hardcoat materials, the Houghton Mifflin hardcoat materials. That was for middle school. That was, we basically have a pilot committee that looks at the books and pilots the different, they actually went through two different series, the Houghton and the McGraw-Hill. And when we do one vote per school, there are 5 middle schools. The vote was 3-5 for hardcourt, 3-2 for hardcourt. And so that's why we went with hardcourt for the middle school. I think you might be mixing it up with the high school. The high school was between McGraw-Hill Study Skills and with Prentice Pearson Learning. And basically, what we looked at, like you said, Mr. Avila, what was best for our students, we have a lot of EL students in the district, and basically McGraw-Hill had the EL component for both designated and for designated EL students, and so we went with that product. We actually consulted Marina Madrid, and we also looked at someone who was on the state commission to see which series had all the components that were required by law.
Okay, so, but you have Study Sync.
For high school.
For high school,
Right.
so that's the difference
That's
there.
the difference between the two.
Okay, then I abstain on that one.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Nay.
And a nay or an abstain?
No, it's a nay.
Okay, so 4 yes and 1 no. Okay, number 12, approve the elementary instructional services request to adopt the McGraw-Hill Wonders series for grades K through 6. The series will serve as our base program for the next 8 years and will include both print and online resources. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
This is elementary.
Number 13, approve the recommendations of the Administrative Hearing Panel, Administrative Hearing Case Numbers 15-16-53, 15-16-46, and stipulated case numbers 15-16-56, 15-16-54, 15-16-52, and 15-16-48. Is there a motion to approve?
So
Discussion?
Yeah, wait till we get our motions. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion, Mr. Ayala.
Okay, item 15, 16, 53. The only comment is I just want to go down as I approve the rest, except I abstain or nay on 53. I got to give you one or the other, so I'm going to go nay on 53. 15-16, 53.
Okay. So on the other cases, do I have all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And on 15-16-53, it is
Aye.
aye
Aye.
Nay.
and 1 nay. Okay. Okay, and adjournment is next, which I know everybody's been waiting for.
So moved.
Wait. Tonight we will adjourn our school board meeting by holding a moment of silence for Mr. Johnny Motley, former Rialto High School business and computer teacher. Mr. Motley passed away on the evening of May 18th, 2016 at the VA hospital in the city of Loma Linda. He was 75 years old. Mr. Motley began substitute teaching in the Rialto Unified School District in 1997. He was hired in January of 1999 as a teacher at Rialto High School. He retired in 2015 after 18 years of service to the district. On behalf of the Board of Education, our deepest condolences are with the Motley family in their time of great loss. So we would like a moment of silence, please. Thank you. And now do I have a motion to adjourn?
I already moved.
Okay, a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No nays for that one? Oh.
No
But
nays.
we do have to return to closed session for a minute.
Okay.
So,
And the time is 9:01.
okay, so this meeting is adjourned at 9:01. We are returning to closed session briefly. We will be back.
That's my payday. All right, congratulations to her and you. Yes. How are you? Old and tired, but good enough. How about you? It's a long day. Thank you for saying hello.
señorita? What's she saying? No, I just. Sí. Oh yeah, we talked to her. We didn't know that. We didn't know either.
And I'm telling her I'll stay. She wants to stay. So whatever she wants to do.
Okay.
Se va a quedar.
Okay, we have returned from closed session. Do I have a motion to adjourn closed session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we are closing down completely at 9. What?
15.
15. Thank you. Have a good night.